Hello, my name is Keith Bailey, here to do my predictions for the NFC. If you watched my last video, I picked the Indianapolis Colts as the AFC champions. I'm going to start with the NFC North, and I'm going to start with the Minnesota Vikings. I have them as your fourth place team. I have them going 6-10. They play in a very tough conference. I don't think they're going to do particularly well. They were in a lot of games last year, and I think Adrian Peterson is drooling over the fact that he's hit Bridgewater in his backfield now. I don't think it's going to pan out this year. Maybe in the years coming it will. Third place team, I have the 7-9 Detroit Lions. They turned the ball over a lot last year. That was their problem. And we'll see if they fix it this year. They have a very potent offense, but I don't think it's going to pan out this year. It's a very tough conference, like I said, and I think they're going to go 7-9. Your second place team and your sixth seed in the playoffs, Chicago Bears, I have them at 10-6. They have a very dangerous offense with Alshon Jeffrey and what's his name? Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler, Matt Forte, you name it. They have one dangerous offense. The defense is pretty good too, and I think that translates to a 10-6 season this year and your sixth seed in the playoffs. Third place team, first place team, Green Bay Packers, also your second seed. I have them at 12-4, and I like what Green Bay's done. They've hovered under the radar a little bit ever since Aaron Rodgers got injured. They were 5-2 before he got injured last year in that game against the Bears. So I think they're going to do very well this year. And I think this is going to be their I'm back kind of year. To the NFC East, your fourth place team have the Washington Redskins. I have them at 4-12. Not a believer in Robert Griffin III. Hopefully Jay Gruden can turn him around. It's going to be hard. He had such success in his first season, but I think losing all those draft picks is going to come back to bite Washington in the butt. 4-12. Third place team, New York Giants. I like the Giants. I think Eli Manning's going to have a solid season, but I have them at 7-9. They play in a tough conference. I'll say it over and over again. The NFC is a very tough conference to play in. You can make a case for every single team to make the playoffs in the NFC. I like the Giants, but 7-9. They have a good offense. I'm not sold on their defense. Speaking of not sold on their defense, second place team Dallas Cowboys had the worst defense in Cowboys history last year, and they lost DeMarcus Ware in the offseason, so I think it's going to be even worse. And I thought it couldn't get any worse than that. Tony Romo's a good quarterback. I like Tony Romo, but I have them as your second place team, and I have them going 8-8. Mediocrity is their problem, and I think that happens to them again. First place team, Philadelphia Eagles. I have them going 10-6, and I have them as their 3 seed in the playoffs. They have a very dangerous offense. They lost Deshaun Jackson to the Washington Redskins, but picking up Darren Sproles in free agency will make up for that. And I'm a believer in Nick Foles. I like what he did last year. They were 3-5, and they went 7-1 in the last 8 games of their season. So I have them going 10-6, and I have them as your 3 seed. To the NFC West, fourth place team St. Louis. I have them going 6-10. They're a very dangerous ball club. They're a very tricky ball club. They play in a very tough division, and I have them going 6-10 next year. But I don't think they're going to be out of any games next year. I think they're going to be a tough team and a tough out for any team that plays them. If they were in 4 other divisions, in one of those divisions, I think they would actually win the division. But they play in the NFC West, and that's tricky. Third place team, Arizona Cardinals. I have them taking a step back. I have them going 8-8 next year. Carson Palmer threw for over 4,000 yards last year. A lot of people tend to forget about that because it's overshadowed by the picks he throws. But he still has a lot of targets back there. Larry Fitzgerald is still a very good wide receiver, and this has one of the best defenses in the league last year. That's why they went 10-6. Spoiler alert, your second place team is not the Niners, it's the Seahawks. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to go 11-5, and I think they're going to be the 5 seed in the playoffs. I think they're going to take a little step back. That's just a gut feeling that I have. So 11-5, 5 seed. And then your first place team, the San Francisco 49ers. I actually have them as your 1 seed. I think they're going to have an outstanding year. I have them going 13-3, and I just think they're going to be very good next year. A lot of gut feelings. come from predictions, and this is one of them. I think the 49ers are going to be our 1 seed at 13-3. And now to the NFC South, your 4th place team. I know you won the division last year, Carolina, but I think that was your season. I think you're going to go 6-10 next year. I love the Panthers, don't get me wrong, but they lost their wide receivers. It's going to be tough for them. They have a solid defense. This is a very tough year to pick because that entire NFC South, I think, is stacked. I think they're going to go 6-10. Speaking of back, I think the Falcons are going to be back, but I think it's going to be at a certain extent. I have them going 7-9 next year. I have them as your 3rd place team in the division. And that's just my take on it. Julio Jones is coming back, and this team is not going to be all injured like they were last year. I think they're going to be average, and I think it's going to take another year for them to regroup until they're finally at the top of the NFC. Your 2nd place team, you're going to think I'm crazy, but the New Orleans Saints, I have them at 9-7. Yes, I said 9-7. I just don't think they're going to particularly do well. I think it's going to be a tough season for them. Don't ask me why. I know it sounds crazy. Believe me, I know. But I have them at 9-7. And your division winner is the Buccaneers. Every single year you have 1 or 2 teams that make the playoffs that no one who makes these videos could ever predict. I think that's going to be the Buccaneers this year. I think they're going to go 9-7, and I think they're going to win the division. They picked up Lovie Smith as a head coach. He went 10-6 in the season. He was fired at Chicago. They picked up Alteron Werner in free agency. They picked up Mike Evans in the draft. They're going to have a dangerous receiving core. I am a believer in Josh McCown. I think he's going to do well with the weapons he has in his backfield. And Alfred Morris is still the running back for Tampa, and I like their defense. I think I call it the 2012 Kansas City Chiefs effect. The Chiefs went 2-14 in 2012, and then they made the playoffs the next year in 11-5. The Buccaneers had all the talent in the world last year. They just couldn't put it together for whatever reason. I think they go 9-7, and I think they win the division, and they're your 4 seed. Your playoffs. 6 seed Chicago against 3 seed Philadelphia. I have the Bears winning. It's offense against offense, and the Bears have a better defense than Philadelphia. So that's why I have the Bears winning. Buccaneers, Seahawks. I have the Seahawks winning. Sorry, Tampa Bay, this is as far as you're going. You're not going to beat the Seahawks. You came close last time, though, when you were in Seattle and you lost by 3. But I have the Seahawks winning. And then I have the 1-seeded Niners against the 6-seeded Bears. I think the 49ers are going to win this game. Sorry, Chicago. Chicago, I think, is going to be held by their tough defense. I think you're going to see the Niners in their 4th straight championship game. And then you get the Seahawks and the Packers. Packers get revenge. I think the Packers knock off the defending NFC champions, and I think you're going to see the Packers in the conference championship against the Niners in a game in which I think the Packers are going to go to the Super Bowl. It's another gut feeling. It's all it is at this point, is a gut feeling. I mean, preseason isn't even over yet, and I'm making Super Bowl predictions. I had a gut feeling the Seahawks were going to play the Broncos last year. They ended up dead. That's not correct English. They ended up playing in the Super Bowl, yes. Green Bay is going to be your conference champion. Thank you for watching. Please stop by again. Please subscribe to my videos. Colts, Packers, and your Super Bowl. Make your picks in the comments below. I'm not going to pick that. That's for my viewers to discuss. So, this is your Super Bowl. Leave comments below. Let me know who you think's going to win. And please check by before week 1. Thanks, guys.